Hi, my name is Lisa, and for this week's discussion post, we are talking about the speech that Adam made at Arthur's birthday party. I think that in the speech he speaks humbly. The first passage that kind of supports this idea would be how he has very high standards for himself and others. At the beginning of the book, he confronts people who did not fully complete the job that they were doing. The bell rang to signal the end of work, and people would just leave the work as it is. One person was even described to have left a screw half driven in, showing that it was dropping as soon as they were done. So he confronted them and called them out on this, thinking that there was an expectation to simply reach a point that was more complete, or a point where you could pause and not stopping immediately as if you hate what you're doing. Another passage would be when he was talking to his brother. His brother thought that there was this idea that he should be next and should expect to be made partner by the boss with how Adam was doing, and he responded that no, I think that at most he thought he would be a foreman if his boss was smart, showing that he thought less of his skills and giftings with how things were going, and that there was a higher expectation for someone who would be in a partner type position. Lastly, I think the passage leading up to the speech also shows a bit more about his character and his view of himself. He talked with someone and shared that he believed that they were going to bring up that this promotion was happening, and that he didn't want to have that discussed, because he didn't want to talk about this until he had had a chance to talk with his boss about this, showing that he had integrity and didn't want to share the news with everybody and flaunt this new success without actually having a conversation with the boss beforehand and figuring out how things were going to go with that. And also showed that he wasn't planning on a speech. He wasn't planning on telling anybody yet. So the fact that then everybody suddenly knew from this, and he had to come up with a speech and address it all on the spot, kind of showed that this was very honest and truthful, and just unfiltered with what he was coming up with in the moment. So for myself, I would say that I've struggled with being a bit of a perfectionist, and this has impacted how I view expectations of myself in both my words and works. I always think that there's room for improvement, and then struggle to be okay with my work and words if they're just good or good enough. I feel like I need to be doing better. I think this is tied into a high value of what I do, with having high standards and expectations of what I do. I think that those who know me well would agree with this. So, thank you.